Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fulton Street Beats. Good to see you here again. This is it. This is the guitar. This is the one you just watched. Almost 70,000 views in a week. That's right. This is my brainchild of what a greenie should be. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what I wanted. And for all of you who asked why, that's why, because I wanted it.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
Doesn't make a difference if you liked it. It doesn't make a difference if you didn't like it. It's what I wanted. So that's why. That's why. And everybody says, it's the most hideous thing I've ever seen. A lot of people said that. A lot of people thought it was beautiful. A lot of people liked it. These lights don't pick up the flame from the fluorescence. But man, it's got a nice, moving, beautiful, thick maple top. It's capped. Mahogany body, in between a 50s and a 60s shaped neck. Fits my hands nice. It's got beautiful Grover tuners on it, that's right. In nickel. Kirk Hammett. Serial number on the back says Kirk Hammett. And it says Epiphone on the headstock. Why does it say Epiphone on the headstock? Why? Why does it say Gibson? Why'd you put anything on it? Why did you do that? Crying in tears of pain. And why isn't it a greenie? It says should be Peter Green. It should be Peter Green, not Kirk Hammett. No. The tears are flowing. The rivers of tears from 20% of people out there. Rivers of tears. Because it says Kirk Hammett. Why did you do that? Well, because it's a Kirk Hammett, loosely based on a Kirk Hammett Epiphone. That's why. It's pretty simple why they call it a Kirk Hammett signature Epiphone. And it was the greenie version is also a Kirk Hammett signature guitar. So get over yourselves. If Gibson makes another Peter Green guitar, or, Gary Moore guitar, well, good, we'll call it that. But this was based off the Kirk, and I'm saying Kirk with a k on the end because a lot of you didn't like my northern accent where I say Kirk Hammett. I say it fast. The K's there, it just comes out fast. You're too slow in your head to hear it. So that's the 20%ers again. We call those guys the 20%ers. 80% of you guys loved this guitar. It's a fun guitar to play. I haven't tuned it since I took it to Guitar Center at all. Why did I take it into Guitar? Why would you take it into Guitar Center? You're just trying to get views. Yup. It's a YouTube channel. And a lot of people are interested in what happens if you take a guitar that is not status quo into a Guitar Center to get their opinions, to see what they think. And I didn't harass them. I asked them first. I didn't just blindside them and walk in. I said, hey, I have a guitar that I would like you to take a look at and film if you have time. But if you are opposed to this, it might not be what you think. But if you are opposed to this, I will not do it. And they politely said, sure, we would love to. It wasn't I said, I'm not here to sell it. I'm just looking to get your opinions on it because you guys see guitars every day and it is the closest reputable place that is to me, and that's 70 miles away. So that's why I did it. And then a lot of people had problems with the employees. They don't know what they're talking about. They had problems with them tuning it. They had problems with Guitar Center in general, which they all put all Guitar Centers in one box. All Guitar Centers are not created equal. My Guitar Center is a nice Guitar Center. They treat me very decently, and every time I hear somebody talk about that Guitar Center, mostly, they talk really good about that Guitar Center. They treat us right. They don't lowball us on things. They really take the time to check out the guitars if you bring something in there, and they're really a pleasure to deal with, and they're very busy all the time, so I really appreciate that they took the time to do that with me. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't have customers. That's why we were waiting. A lot of people, they were busy. I'm sure they didn't like doing that. No, smartasses, listen. They agreed to it, or I wouldn't have done it. And I made sure they weren't super busy because I wouldn't take time away from them, from customers. That's why, for you 20%ers who just can't seem to get it. The same ones that can't seem to understand why the headstock doesn't say Gibson. The same ones of you that don't understand why it says Kirk Hammett. I even had somebody say my guitar case was shit. That's a beautiful guitar case. That's a very nice guitar case. Better than any Gibson case. So no, it's not shit. It's a beautiful guitar case. It's very heavy duty, very stout. And I stenciled Hammett on the outside of it, and that sent him off. Well, Peter Green and Gary Moore are better guitarists than Kirk Hammett. Well, that is your opinion, isn't it? And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And usually, well, shit runs out of them. So this is my version. 80% of you loved this guitar. It's going on 70,000 views in about a week. That's right. And the video itself, we even got Guitar Center ads running on the video. I didn't put them there. They put them there. So for everybody bitching. And a lot of people wanted to see what would happen. And then you guys get into making fun of the Guitar Center players. Well, I'll tell you what, they're really good guys. They do know their stuff. And the second individual in there asked me, well, why doesn't it say Peter Green or Gary Moore? Why doesn't it say that? And then I explained to him because it's a Kirk Hammett signature copy of a Kirk Hammett signature guitar, not their guitar. And he got it. And he played it. And the first thing, if you watch the video, he said was, wow, the switch is way better than any of the other ones.
Wait, the switch is definitely better, I can tell.
Yes. Yes. And he looked at the hardware and said, oh, wow, it is the same.
Oh, like, yes, this is the same.
Long wait.
It's the same, like, same, like.
Yes, he went up and down the fretboard. He played the guitar, and he's a fantastic player. Up and down the fretboard, and enjoyed playing it. This guitar's got a bone nut. It's got everything that you want in a Les Paul, but people are pissed because of the name. And people keep forgetting that it's just wood and magnets. And whoever built this guitar and had their hands on this guitar are the ones that did all the hard work and did it right. It came set up. It came awesome. I can't help that. You might not want to believe it, and that's okay. But that's why I did this video, to bring it in to total strangers to see what they would think about a guitar without knowing what it is. Here, what do you think? Oh, yeah. Is that a prototype? And
no serial number, just has his name on it, huh?
very cool, right?
Very cool.
So,
is this the prototype? Is this the prototype?
That was the thing. The guitar's so nice, you would never guess it was anything else.
No, it's... So we've got to use, mass production Greeny.
Yes, that you actually got that from me.
That was from you.
That was from me.
That's funny.
That's from me. Yes, the Greeny that you have.
This one, you kind of don't need the other one. This one, you kind of don't need the other one. So now, I was gonna say, how'd you get your hands on the prototype? So
Not a prototype.
No.
I had it custom built. I sold a Marshall amp yesterday here at my house, and a Marshall head. And the guy that came to pick up the Marshall amp, and I said, hey, what do you think about this? We were talking about the Greeny. I said, what do you think about this one? And he was just stunned. Holy cow, that is beautiful. Look at that guitar. Yeah, I get that all the time with this guitar. This is the pinnacle of a Les Paul build. Whether you agree with what's on the headstock or you're not fond of the color, you don't like the mismatched knobs, you don't like the stratty tone in the center. If you don't like that tone, that's fine too. Buy a different guitar. Different strokes for different folks, but you don't have to put down what other people have. That's right. And this is my personal guitar. And then we have the naysayers that say, well, what about this? And well, that's a counterfeit and blah, blah, blah. Listen, man, we're not going to get into that spiel because obviously you guys don't know what you're talking about. If you watch the channel, you know what I mean by that. It's called the Lanham Act. This is my personal guitar. We don't sell these. I don't sell these guitars. I have guitars built the way I want them built. Why? Well, because it's a free country. Why everybody's sticking up for corporate interests and bending over and say, can I have some more, please? And getting ripped off on guitars. I am busy, well, getting guitars that I like and not getting ripped off. And I don't even have to use this on my butt anymore. Because now I have guitars built that, well, this isn't required anymore. A lot of you really must go through that stuff. Woo! Because you like it up there, that's for sure. And the notes are clear. It is a fantastic guitar. And no, the guitar hasn't been tuned up. Grabbed it out of the case, actually, not off the wall this time. Out of the case, and decided to do this video. Because a lot of you just wanted to know why. Well, that's why. Who built the guitar? Well, it was built by a woman. And I'm not saying she had her hands on this guitar, by the way. Okay? That's like saying that the CEO of Gibson had her hands on your guitar when it was built. I'm saying that she is responsible for the sale, not just a broker. She does have her hands on some guitars. Was it on this one? I don't know. I think so because she took pictures of it when it was coming. I have the build process the whole way through. This was a one-off custom build. I even had somebody said, I got that exact same guitar. No, you don't, mister. What? You don't have the same guitar because this is to my specs. And I guarantee there's things that you don't know about this guitar that were done because I don't want anybody to know about it. I wanted a one-off. And that's what this is. There's parts on this guitar that you didn't get. That's right. It's built in a particular way that you didn't get. And be like, for instance, let's just say one in between a 50s and 60s neck. This was a custom neck. This was not something that they put in their guitars. You're going to either get a 50s or a 60s style neck, not an in-between. Mine is an in-between. You're not going to get a nitro finish unless you ask for one. But usually they don't like to do them. So nitro finish. I had one person say it's ugly. It looks like it was dipped in plastic. Well, you mean it's shiny and beautiful? You know? That's like saying your wife's ugly, she looks like a supermodel. I don't know where you people come from, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Other people. I don't like the knobs, those mix-matched knobs. We don't like those. Okay. Well, that's how you tell it's kind of trying to be a greenie. And then, while it's called a greenie, yeah, that was the nickname of the guitar, and the nickname stuck of the guitar. But it's a Kirk Hammett Greeny now. Kirk Hammett Greeny. And amazing electronics. And I wanted to say, well, it's got great electronics, so you can see in there. My wiring mess is not that good inside right now, but you get the big orange drop CTS pots. You can see the switch in there. It's looks like almost like a Switchcraft switch in there. It's not, but it's a nice quality switch that's in there. And somebody else said, because I said, well, it's got that nice vintage tone, and a lot of that has to do with these big Sprague orange drops. Tone doesn't have nothing to do with orange drops. Really? Take them out and see what happens, wise ass. Yes, the capacitors have a lot to do with it. A lot of people get microphonic feedback from the capacitors being installed the wrong way. That's right. There's a positive and a negative side. A lot of people don't realize that, and they will not work properly if they're the wrong way. Look it up. Internet's a wonderful place. But yeah, orange drops, the size of them make a difference. What they are. That's why people make a big deal about bumblebees and, Mallories and what have you. I chose these because, well, I've used them before and I like the tone that they produced. I have a couple other guitars around here with them in it, and I liked it, and I always get the same result. and it was no disappointment in this one. So that's why. What's it? Everybody want to know what it weighs? Let's weigh it. £8.87. 8.87 pounds. So, yeah, that's what it weighs. So, Kathy Zong was the builder. Seller. Didn't say she built this one. I don't know. I think she had her hands in this one, but I'm not sure. It's an articulate guitar. It sounds great. The action's nice and low. It's a touch above a millimeter. And if you guys know what it takes to set up a guitar with no buzz, with just a touch above a millimeter. So it's done right. Anyhow, I just wanted to cover that base. Why did I do it? That's why. And I hope that you guys understand it and, understand that you can have custom guitars built. There's a lot of... It's funny that if you are an American luthier and you copy a name brand guitar, that's okay. Chris Dirk. The Slash, the guy that built the guitar for Slash, the Appetite guitar, the fake, the counterfeit. We'll say what it is. It was unauthorized. He didn't ask Gibson permission. It was unauthorized. It's a fake. Oh no, that's a replica. That's a good made replica. That's what. Where's my wine? Where's my cork? That's a good-made replica by a good luthier. Well, you think he's the only good luthier in the world? You think the United States are the only people who can build guitars? It's not rocket science. It's really not rocket science. It's not. There are so many amazing luthiers in China. As a matter of fact, they're way more educated than we ever will be. Their kids are. Their kids are smarter than we are. Just how it is, because we've lost touch and reality with everything, and so it doesn't make a difference. But the fact that everybody thinks that that's okay, but this is wrong, I just don't. I'll never understand it. And then a lot of people are just mad because it's a Chinese guitar, as they're typing on their Chinese phones, watching their Chinese TV. And using everything in their house that is built in China or has parts that are from China. But very cool guitar. And I have another one that I want to show you guys. You ready? Now this guitar that I am about to show you was shit. I'm the first to admit it. Oh, yes. Remember this one, guys? Do you remember this guitar? Do you remember this guitar? This thing was a pile of dog doo. Now, as you can see, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. A little finger pretty. Active. That's right, guys. Real active. There's the Energizer bunnies right in there. Okay. And let me tell you. We got an EMG 8185 in this one. Yes, authentic 8185. I did that. With all the EMG electronics, this has a nice volute on the back of the neck. No, this is not a Dean guitar. This was another custom build that I had done. And it was expensive. And it came in and it wasn't good, guys. It just wasn't good. It had a lot of blemishes. It still does. It sounded okay. The setup was okay. Now it's set up a lot more. I got this a touch below a millimeter. Yeah. So this is going to be coming up in an upcoming episode. We'll go over this. We'll talk about it. But for those of you who didn't understand the controversy or what was really going on with the Guitar Center video of me taking my guitar into Guitar Center, go back and check out that video. 70,000 views. 70,000 views almost today. Almost 70,000. And 20% hated it and the other 80 liked it. Figure that out. Who's the minority? I think I scored well. I think that people genuinely like the guitar, as do I. And if I can show you something cool, I'm going to show you something cool, regardless of where it comes from. If it was a Gibson, I'd show it to you too. But it's not. We got a lot of cool guitars around here. And we're getting back into the swing of things. And I have heard that the new Firefly guitars are outstanding. They're still super cheap. I don't know how they do it. My last one was a Strat with a HSS with big pots, really good wiring. It wasn't the most perfect guitar in the world. There was like sand in it from the sandblasting or something that they did to relic the hardware. But man, it sounded good and it sounded Stratty. It had that. We did some Sir Psycho Sexy from Red Hot Chili Peppers with that guitar. And it sounded like when I listened back to it, I was like, wow, it's the album. I mean, it's a cool guitar. So we're going to give Firefly another shot with one of the Firefly. They don't call them an LP. I forget what they call them now, but we got one on order. Should be here this week sometime. And I'm curious to see what components they've put in that guitars, how much better they have gotten or worse. And I'll bring that to you. And I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Make sure you stick around to listen to this thing and hear this thing in a mix. And make sure you go back and check out the Kirk Hammett Greeny. There, I said it. Kirk Hammett. Thanks, guys. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Remember, it's rock and roll. It makes the world do that spinny thing. Peace out. Bye.
Sweden.